Back into our space, into our reflection. I'm going to move us through our reflection time that I hope will end up being then at the end of this. The ultimate goal today is to help you design your priorities and a little bit of at least broad brushstroke calendaring for the next 3 months. So let's take a moment to pause though on your self-care habits, which is our primary goal. Again, in addition to knowing that you're worthy of rest and helping you live a life of radical self-care, radical love. Let's take a look, take a feel through what have you been doing in the past few months in terms of your self-care habits. Doing that without judgment as best we can, like we notice what's happening in our body without judgment, noticing that. In our practice, what has worked? What has not worked so well? And I bet even in a tough or chaotic season, that there are things that have worked. And then maybe some things that have not. And well, I'll go to the next part in a little bit. Take a few minutes to brainstorm that. You might make 2 lists. There's a spot for this in your guidebook that you can either type or write on if that's useful to you, or just jot this down on whatever old piece of paper that you have. So feel free to stay. If this is still useful, feel free to stay with this. And then for the coming quarter, so the next 3 months, what might you prioritize? And this is in your guidebook. If you want to use this like these 4 quadrants, the body care, like activities around achievement, connection, and enjoyment. If that's useful, you don't need to use it, but that's a suggestion. You can use this base kind of structure if you want to include things there. So what things will you prioritize? And then a little bit later on, I'll be asking like you to just name the things that maybe you're letting go of. Maybe there's things in this season that just aren't working, or for one reason or another, maybe there's things that don't work in your schedule right now and that you're going to maybe try to bring those back later. Or they just don't work, so you're going to drop them. Who knows? I always invite you to name self-care practices first, because our priority is ourselves in this community. And that's not in a selfish way. That's simply in a way of saying, I matter too, alongside the other things. And I include it first because it's usually the thing that gets shoved to the end of the list and therefore gets neglected.